So September 1st, 2001 was supposed to be a big reset button for me in my life. I had quit my job as a sign language interpreter. I had left Canada's smallest incorporated town, Annapolis Royal, and I had broken up and ended a 5-year relationship. And I convinced my friend Penelope to leave Toronto and move with me to the woods in Kentville and take a class called Applied Communication Arts without exactly understanding what that meant. But everything was new. We didn't have a normal. We were living out of boxes. We were living in the woods. So when planes flew into the Twin Towers 11 days later, we had no way to kind of calibrate what had happened with anybody because we didn't have anybody except for each other. And we had no one to help us, and we had no one to help. So when we heard on CBC Radio a few hours later that stranded passengers who, I mean, obviously all flights were canceled over North America, stranded passengers were being sent to Camp Aldershot military base, we thought, great. We've got a 3-bedroom house in the woods, we've got a swing set, we've got a wood stove, and we're just gonna go, we're gonna get a family, and then we'll have a family in the woods, and we'll all just live in the woods, and that will be our new life, and this is and it's gonna be, it's fine. And so we took a cab to the military base and kind of just like wandered around, mostly approaching families, and people were actually like grabbing their children, like, no, we don't, we're not coming, we don't have any money. And we're like, no, there's a swing set, there's a whistle. But we did eventually kind of connect with 2 traveling businessmen type who were eager to check their email on our dial-up internet that we could offer them. So on the way back in the cab, we're trying to do that, like getting to know you real quick. We're all gonna go live in the woods together. And I found out that Alan was pretty high up in a private sector union in the States. So he and I bonded instantly over Buzz Hargrove's loafers with no socks look, how that was quite bad. And then the other guy, Richard, said he was a lawyer on vacation, and he was holding Wally Land's She's Come Undone, which everybody seemed to be reading at that time. And Penelope read that book, so we're like, okay, we read the same book, we hate the same guy, we're a family, we live in the woods. And so we got in pretty quick, and Alan called his family and started playing Penelope's guitar, and I overheard Richard on the phone with his daughter saying, I'm in the woods, I'm fine, I'm in the woods of Kentville with some 3rd wave feminists. No, I'm learning a lot, I am listening, I'm being nice, I'm listening to everything they say, and we liked them both right away. We're like, this is great. And so I'm obviously pretty good at like easing socially anxiety-inducing situations, so I'm like board games. And so my favorite board game is a game called Class Struggle. It is real. I got it at an NDP yard sale. And the objective is to win the revolution. So we're playing, and when the card is like, Jimmy Carter sells out the garbage men, proletariat moved back 3 spaces. And Richard says, yeah, we did that. And I thought, wow, like, this guy is taking a lot of ownership over American policy. Like, you don't usually see that. That's pretty impressive. And then kind of like, you know, as the game went on and as the chatting went on, like, there was just a lot of kind of like odd story, like sort of pieces of information that didn't make a lot of sense, but it's the new normal, so it's fine. And we didn't think about it too much until the Brigadier General called and said, we've arranged a private military flight back for Mr. Danzig. I thought, that's weird. But then I thought, well, he can't go, we're a family. And I was actually quite moved to hear Richard say that he actually wasn't going to take this flight back unless Alan could come with him. So they stayed. And we talked, and we roasted marshmallows in the wood stove, and Penelope made some texturized vegetable protein chickpea sort of situation. And then we all, you know, kind of retired, and then the next morning, Richard and Alan went downtown in a cab to get a bit of board game, and fine. So while they were getting kind of their, like, deluxe Yahtzee, which, like, not very proletariat, we decided to Google Richard on Wikipedia, and the first sentence of his Wikipedia entry was, Richard Danzig was the Secretary of the U.S. Navy under Bill Clinton. He's very unexpected and kind of like cast a new, sort of like bad etiquette points for me and Penelope, having been shooting off our mouths about U.S. foreign policy for a day, you know, to a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. But, you know, we're not going to talk about it. We're not that kind of, we don't, you know, we're family. We don't talk about these things. So they come back with this Yahtzee, and Richard, we said, oh, we missed you so much that we read your farewell speech on the internet. And he kind of chuckled and said, oh, you saw that, did you? And like, you know, and that was kind of it. And we thought, like, I thought, like, that'll just be one of those things that we don't talk about. You know, we don't talk about the fact that Penelope's vegan food is terrible. We don't talk about the fact that, like, Alan has never finished a song on the guitar that he started playing. We don't talk about the fact that I've had the Cabaret soundtrack on repeat in my bedroom for some reason for 2 days. And we don't talk about the fact that Richard was sixth in command of the largest, most powerful military in the world. So we just, those aren't things we have in common. So they stayed with us for 3 days, and they sort of gazed at our bookshelf pretty disapprovingly. And when they left is kind of when it became real. And it was sort of when we realized that the events of September 11th were going to be used to divide people and to, you know, sort of separate and not sort of binding together the way that we have done. And so, you know, as we received boxes of books in the mail, you know, kind of gossipy emails about politics and the labor movement, you know, it's kind of dwindled over the years, but we do kind of check in every so often. And so I feel lucky that when I think of September 11th, I think of people looking for reasons to be a family and to take care of each other, and to find commonalities. Thank you.